Good day and welcome to today's interesting lesson on grammar. The topic is rules on Concord, a continuation from Concord that we did last week. Can you mention the objectives for the lesson? One is to summarize the rules of Concord earlier studied. The next one state the rules of Concord, and the last is to write activities on the topic for a certificate. What did I say? Write activities on the topic for a certificate. I know you can't wait to have that. Now we'll start with this activity. Can you tell what is wrong with these constructions? One is either the physicians in this hospital or the chief administrator are going to make a decision. The next one is some of the votes seems to have been counted. Just make your own personal assessment of this so that you will present to me next. Say your view of the sentences, write them down because you present it to me in a minute. The first part for me to score you in today's lesson. Okay, this is where we have found ourselves, judging by the sentences. So you pay close attention as I explain. At the same time, you share your views with me. Now, what we must know here is that the subjects do not agree with the verbs. That is what we can say from the construction. How? From the sentence 1, which begins with the conjunction either. Now, when you say either, it goes actually with or. But when you see them, they present options. They do not sum up the nouns or the pronouns or the subjects. So if you say it's the physicians in this hospital or the chief administrator, what are the subjects here? The physicians in this hospital, one. The chief administrator, the second one. Now what we do is we use the rule of proximity. Which one here is closer to the verb? It is the chief administrator. And the chief administrator is a singular or plural noun. It is a singular subject, so it can select a singular verb. And the singular verb here is it are? No, it is. Now say the sentence. Either the physicians in this hospital or the chief administrator is going to make a decision. I give you a big thumbs up. Let's go to the second one, which is some of the votes seems to have been counted. Now what's the subject here, or what is the noun here? The noun here is votes, but it has some words describing it, some words qualifying it, which are some of the. But for the fact that it is qualified, votes still remains which subject? Singular, plural. It remains a plural subject, and it must go with a plural verb, which is seem, not seems. Can you read the sentence now? Some of the votes seem, I mark you correct, seem to have been counted. That is interesting. If this has been your view, I put hands together for you. Great. Okay, let us review the rules of Concord we earlier discussed. One was subject and verb concord, in which we said that the singular subject goes to the singular verb. He is coming, they are coming. Number 2, principle of proximity. We say that in the face of many subjects, that is many names, nouns or pronouns at the subject level, the nearest one to the verb determines the choice of the verb. For example, John and his 2 friends were here or are here. The next one is a pair of concord, in which we say that using the phrase a pair of means treating it as a singular subject, so it goes with a singular verb. For example, the pair of trousers is yours. The next one was accompaniment concord, and we explain accompany as going with someone or doing something with someone. And we say that when you try to add an accompaniment, that is try to show who did something with the subject or who something happened to with the subject, what happens is that the subject will determine the verb you use from the accompaniment part. The subject will determine the verb that you use from the accompaniment part. If, for example, you have the subject John then the accompaniment has it as well as his friends. If the verb will be is here, because John is singular, so John as well as his friends is here. For the fact the friends end in s, it can select r because they is referring back to the John from the subject. The next one was indefinite pronoun concord. Indefinite pronouns are pronouns that when you use them, you are not specific, you are not particular. For example, someone, something, somebody, anybody, anything. When you use them, they are singular subjects, so they go with singular verbs. For example, someone is here, nobody is there. And the last one we looked at was plural retentions. And we say that they are usually words of foreign languages, and they normally end in s. Some are treated as singular, going with singular verbs, or are treated as plural, going with plural verbs. Examples are this: mathematics is my favorite subject. In that case, mathematics is singular, going with is. But if I say the remains have been buried, remains there is treated as plural and goes with the plural verb have. I hope you can still remember what you learned. Okay, we're looking at the rules of Concord, continuation of what we did the last time. That's the main topic today, rules of Concord. So let's look at the rules. This form of Concord is all about making a prayer, making a suggestion, you making a wish, demand, recommendation, or a resolution. And what do I mean by this? It means that when you want to make any of this, there are special verbs you follow. You don't just do it, so follow the processes you must know. When you are making any of them, the verb that follows must be plural, whether the subject is singular or plural. So pay close attention as we read the sentence back. When prayer, suggestion, wish, demand, or recommendation, resolution is emphasized in the sentence, the verb that follows must be plural, specifically plural, whether the subject is singular or plural. Now let us look at the examples. It has been suggested that he here, he. You would think he is supposed to go with goes, but he go away. It has been suggested that he go away. Let's look at number 2. Can you read it? The board has recommended that the manager resign. You might think it's the manager resigns, not resigns. Number 3. I pray that God help me on my upcoming examination. On my upcoming examination, I pray that God help, not helps. Take proper note of that. I'm going to. The next is many a concord. Many a concord. The phrase many a, when used, the verb and the noun that follows must be singular. When you use it, it is followed by a singular noun and a singular verb. Let's look at these examples. Many a candidate, not candidates, not candidates. If it is a candidate, it then speaks, not speak. Can you read the sentence? Many a candidate speaks bad English expressions. The second one, many a girl, not many a girls. So many a girl is here, not many a girls are here. What we are saying is that statements 1 and 2 actually mean many candidates and many girls. Thank you. Okay, the next is categorization concord. Categorization concord. This means that there are some categories of people that have their special verbs, that have their special subjects. When you use them the way they are treated, this is different from collective nouns. So when a name indicating a category of people, like the rich, the gifted, the poor, the handicapped, the helpless, and others is used, it selects a plural verb. For example, the poor need help, the young are disobedient. When you say the poor, you are referring to a group of people who are poor. The young, generally referring to people who are young, but this does not mean you have made them one. Very simple. The next is collective noun or national concord. You can call them collective nouns, you can call them national concord. When you talk of collective, collective means many as one. Many as one, that is a group. So these nouns stand as a group. For example, audience, team, club, congregation, clergy, population, staff, etc. But there is something I want you to know. They can be singular or plural based on the usage. The way you use them can make them singular, the way you use them can make them plural, as in collectively or individually. Look at this sentence. Our staff meets on Tuesday mornings. In this case, we're talking of the body of staff. Body of staff becoming one. But if you look at the second, the brother sentence to this, our staff work hard to meet up the deadlines. At this time, you are referring to individual members of staff. Number 2, the committee has submitted its report with the use of has. You know that you're talking about just one body. Well, look at the second sentence. The committee are divided on the report. The same report the committee has submitted, the committee are divided on the report. This means individual members of the committee are divided. So it's a matter of, is it singular? Is it singular you want to use? You want that is individually, or you want to use it as a group to stand for one. Let's go to number 3. Our club is celebrating its 20th anniversary today. Our club is celebrating with the use of is. You know that the club is talking about, it is described as a whole. Now let's look at the other one, the brother sentence. Our club are going on a vacation tomorrow. On a vacation tomorrow. Are is used for plural subject. So here, clubs are being described as the people, individual people who become many. No more that unit. No more as a unit. And number 4, the concert attracted different audience. The concert attracted different audience. Different audience who were clapping and cheering. Where? That means different types of audience. Different types. Then number 5, the audience is happy with its performance. At this time you are referring to the audience collectively as a body, not individually. The next one is concord in parentheses. Concord in parentheses. What is a parenthetical statement? A statement that adds information to what has already been said. So it is usually an additional clause to what has already been said. Now, there is something I want to say. It is not considered in choosing the verb. The parenthetical statement is not considered in choosing the verb. The subject from the part earlier said determines the verb. You must say something before a parenthetical statement with joy to explain more about it. So what we are saying is that the part you already said has a verb that you consider. You consider it to determine the verb you will select, not the parenthetical statement. Let's look at the examples. The teacher here is what we're talking about. Then the parenthetical statement, not her students, is in the class. The is here will not refer to not her students. It not refer to students. It will go back to the teacher. The same thing applies to the second sentence. Can you read it? The manager. What is the parenthetical statement? Not many of his workers. Not many of his workers is here. Who is this is being used for? Can you tell me? It is used for the manager. It is used for the manager. Thank you. Let's go. Okay, more than Concord. More than Concord. Can you say, call it more than as a phrase, then Concord added to it. When more than is used, How is it judged? What verb does it select? Now pay attention. When more than is used, the word or number that comes after it will determine the next verb. The number or the word that comes after it will determine the next verb. Look at these examples. Now the more than is followed here by two, and the word is apple, so 2 apples. 2 can go with are. Can you read the sentence? More than 2 apples are here. So because of 2 and apples you have are. The next sentence, more than is followed by the number 5, and the next is boys, plural. So attend the school. Read the sentence, more than 5 boys attend the school. Great. Let's go to number 3. Example 3. More than one person. More than is followed by one. Is it singular? And then person, is it singular? Good. They are both singular. That's why you have this. Is needed for the job. More than one person is needed for the job. There is something I want you to know here. Know that, okay, the note is this. Do not think because more than one means at least 2 that you must use a plural verb after it. No, it is singular. For the fact that more than one connotes 2, do not use a plural verb after it. Use a singular verb after it. Thank you. Okay, the next one is relative concord. Relative concord. Relative. We have done relative adjectives and all that. So when we talk about relative or adjective clause, they actually describe the nouns. They explain more about the nouns or the subjects. And what we are saying here is that when you have them describing any noun, as you see here, who, that, which, as words that introduce them, the verb in the clause will work with the noun it qualifies. What I'm saying in essence is that when you are using a clause, the verb in the clause will be based on the noun it is qualifying, the noun that the clause is qualifying. Look at this example. If you say the boy here is the subject, it is the noun. So what is the qualifier? What is the relative clause here? Who comes here? Who comes here is my friend. Now this is referring back to the boy. It refers to the boy. So the boy who comes here is my friend. Look at the second one. Algebra is one of the topics that confused me. What is your relative clause here? That confused me. Now if you look at the noun that is being qualified here, what is the noun? Topics. Is it plural or singular? That is why you have this confused, because topics is plural. Then number 3, Mr. Daniel is one of the teachers. Mr. Daniel is one of the teachers. What is the what here is teachers, here is the noun. Is it singular or plural? Of course it is plural. That is why you have who teach, because teachers who teach, not teacher who teaches, but teachers who teach me. Very important. The other is double name or title concord. This is whereby one person may have 2 names. I do not mean all but Abaso form. What I mean is you call the person's name, call a title added to the person's name. So what we're saying is that when two nouns refer to one person at the subject position, the subject should be singular. Don't take it to be plural. For example, identify this subject. My boss and husband. My boss and husband. They are one. They are not separate. And in this instance, they are not separate. So my boss and husband never goes late for meetings. And the next is the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces. The President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces. You might have heard this on the radio. You might have watched it on the television. so lives his life fighting corruption. When you say that, you're not referring to many people, but one person. Number 3, the class captain and best student in our class. The class captain at the same time doubles as the best student. So the class captain, best student in our class, is always calm. Is always calm. That is great. Now we're going to the next one. Either or neither Concord. Either or neither Concord. Now, when either or neither compares to singular nouns, when it compares to singular nouns, the verb should be singular. Select a singular verb. This is the first noun, John. The second one is Jackson. They are being compared with O. So we have either John or Jackson. The singular verb is knows me. Number 2. Neither Mary nor her friend. Her friend. You see her friends? No. Meaning one was here. The next one. Neither Mary nor her friends were here. Now look at this. The same sentence. Neither Mary, no. Neither Mary nor her friend. But here is friends, not friend. That is why you have where instead of the was here. But there's something I want to know. You to know. However, when either or neither joins a two subjects, one is singular, the other plural, the verb should be chosen considering the nearer of the two subjects. If you had these, okay, just like we illustrated here before, if for example this one is supposed to be plural and this one is supposed to be singular, the singular will go with the singular verb. It may not come back to this. And let's watch it in the next sentences. Either James or his friends know me. But if you say either James or his friend, it won't be knows, but it will be know. It will be know, but knows. His friend knows, but his friends know me. Another thing you must know. These rules also apply when but or but even joins two subjects. When you're saying but or but even in a sentence, the same rule applies. Look at this. Not only Shola, but even teachers laugh. Teachers laugh. If it were to be teacher, for example, you have it as not only Shola, but even her teacher laughs in school. It should have been that way. But because of teachers, you select the verb laugh. The second sentence. Not Lawrence, but James. James speaks. For the fact that James ends with S is someone's name. Remember, it is not plural, someone's name. So not Lawrence, but James speaks good English. Note, either can pair with or, while neither can pair with no. That's the rule. But they can also be used when not in pairs. That is, they can be used separately in sentences. Let's watch out. That's what I say for examples. Number 1, Philip did not pass the exams. Philip did not pass the exam. Neither did John. Neither did John. If you look at this, neither is in the negative, so you select the positive did to go with it. You don't use, for example, you say neither didn't John. It won't be right. So neither did John. The next one, Philip did not pass the exam. John did not either. Can you try to see the difference between them? Here you have negative did not going with either. On the other side you have positive going with neither. Take proper notice. That is why these sentences below are wrong. Not, John did not, neither. You failed it. Fail it. Not, neither did not John. You will fail it. Don't say John too did not pass. What are you to say? John did not either. Or what do you say? Neither did John. Take this correction. Very important. Now the next one is uncountable nouns. Concord. Uncountable nouns, as you know, cannot be quantified. You can't state there how many they are. So Generally, when you say uncountable nouns, avoid s at the end. Don't add s at the end, because that today are singular subjects or concepts. Information, furniture, equipment, advice, data, evidence, water, food, kerosene. They are usually followed by singular verbs. If you look at these sentences, you say it all. Your advice is needed. There is water everywhere. You can't say there are water everywhere.
Yes, we have come to the interesting part, the most interesting part of this lesson. Remember, I promised you that at the end, everyone will get a certificate. So let me see who will not present his own certificate to me. I will first of all copy this link and paste it to my browser. What you do is to take time and copy it directly. Get your pen, copy it directly so that you will paste it on your browser. Or you can copy it the way I do or I'm doing and paste it on your browser. As you see me now copied, so I will paste it to my browser. Great, this is where the link has taken me. So I will start my quiz. My number one. Oh, I can't do it with you. You will copy. You copy. I can't do with you. You will copy. Sorry, do it alone. When I finish and you finish, we meet. Right now, I will post the video. I will only show you my certificate when I get. That means you are also doing yours. Thank you. Okay, at the end, I'm done with mine. So this is my certificate. I will come here, click there, and edit to put my name. My certificate is processing. Wow, see it? Kumaga got a score of 100 over 100. Wow, this is interesting. This is my certificate. So let me see who will not get this certificate today. Wow, you must get it, snap and send to me. I must see your certificate. Now that I've gotten the certificate, let us look briefly at the lesson so that we round it up. This topic is Concord, a continuation of what we did, continuation of rules of Concord. And we consider modality and subjunctive Concord. These ones have to do with expressing a prayer, suggestion, wish, demand, or recommendation. And when you are doing that, know that the verb should be plural. You use a plural verb for making the sound. The other is many a, and when we say that when many a is used, what follows is usually a singular noun and a singular subject. The next one is collective or national concord. This one, some can stand as a group collectively, or they can stand as individuals within the group. And we say that for concord in parentheses, the subject determines the verb to choose, not the parenthetical statement. We also say that in more than concord, in more than as concord, what happens is that the word or noun that comes after the more than determines the verb you choose. And on relative concord, we say that the part that bears the relative clause picks its verb from the subject that it qualifies. We say that concord in double names specifically goes with singular verbs because it is treated as a singular subject. We also say that in using either or neither, the last verb, or the last noun or subject will determine the verb to use. Okay, we're done with activity, so we go to homework, the classwork on this topic. The assignment is this: access this site and practice all the exercises. Do all the exercises. However, screenshot specifically the answer scores for number 3 and 4. That is the links that will be sent. And these are the links. These are the links. These are the links. Although I will send them on the class dojo. I will post all the links on the class dojo so that you can copy them directly. Thank you, and I wish you good luck.